Welcome everyone, and hello to all the beautiful people out there. We have a bit of a different episode this time going around. This time we're going to do a tier list of the CW slash Arrowverse slash kinda Tomorrowverse. Do we have Superman and Lois on here? Yes, we do. So yeah, sort of super whatever it's called verse.
Superverse. Tomorrowverse is the new animated universe.
That's it.
There's too many
I
universes.
I knew I was close. But yeah, we're gonna be ranking all the seasons of the Arrowverse shows. The only ones we're not gonna talk about are the first three seasons of Stargirl and the first only
And
season
only
of
The only
uh,
season of Constantine.
mostly because we have not watched them, so it would probably be unfair to rank them. But with the rest of these, I can say with pure certainty that at the very least, one of us has seen
Yep,
them.
and that Carl's watched all of it, pretty
Karl
much.
has definitely watched all of it, and me and Jacob have at least watched most of it, a good chunk at least.
I've watched the first few seasons of Arrow and pretty much almost all of the Flash, so I can talk
So,
about those.
so yeah. Should we go down the list, or where should we start, Karl?
let's start with Arrow. Arrow season 1.
Okay. Um, I'm thinking this season goes up in the A tier, at least A.
What's keeping it out of S tier?
Well, season two just I had a better storyline. Season one has a great storyline though. It just season two is just better. But I think
It's
for the first season of the Arrowverse, I mean it's called Arrowverse, so this show is very important. But
fair enough.
I don't know. I think this one is one of the better ones. What do you guys think?
Karl,
I agree. It's not better than season 2, I agree. So I will say it is an A tier show.
okay,
Season.
But A tier for CW is good.
yeah, that it is great.
It means that
So
it has by the way for the audience out there, A means that it has a lot of great qualities, but it's not fantastic, like it says up there.
it's not amazing.
Yeah.
But here we go
Okay.
talk about Arrow season 2.
I'm
Yep.
gonna say S tier for this one.
Now, I asked what kept season 1 out of S tier. What puts this one in S tier other than the fact that you said it had a better story?
I think it's the better cast of characters. It
Hmm.
adds like Speedy, it adds Thea and Black Canary, and adds even more to the other characters.
You know,
And Stephen Amell's acting is even better in this season as well.
makes sense.
What do you think, Carl? Since you've watched it as well.
I will say I do agree it's an S tier. For all the dreams plus one, it starts the world building for the
Oh,
show for
I
the
think John Diggle's in the first season, but he's even better in this season.
yeah, but that's not exactly what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is this the season where Barry shows up?
Yes, it is. This is the season where Barry showed up.
Wowee.
It introduces the fastest man alive, and actually in a pretty good way, in my opinion.
And if I remember reports I heard around this time, they were initially going to make him part of Arrow, but his episode got so popular, they decided to make his own show based on how fans' reaction to seeing him in Arrow.
And that's pretty epic.
Hmm.
In hindsight, they probably shouldn't have done that since they kind of ran off the rails a little bit, but we'll get to that later.
But as far as the legacy goes, I think we're gonna have to put Arrow season two at S tier.
Okay. Now Arrow season 3.
This is gonna
What?
be a dicey one. I'm gonna say B tier.
And a lot of shows, especially within the CW, not drop off, but seem to lose a bit of steam going into their third season.
My reason why is because For me, this was a decent season. It added more to the world building. But it just felt like it was slugging. Just don't. It was just moving slow. You know, like there wasn't much development. The racial ghoul stuff was okay. I liked it somewhat. But after this, I kind of just fell off of the show for the audience out there. I just kind of stopped watching after season three. I've seen a little bit of season four, but yeah, this season was kind of mediocre in my opinion. It's not it's but it has of course better qualities than some other seasons of CW I've watched. So I'm still gonna put it in at least B tier.
What says you, Carl?
I hate to say it, I do have to disagree with Jacob on that one. I will say I think it's B, just not B, A, just I like the story. It. One thing that did annoy me about it was they retconned the ending to season. Was this either this season or the last season before that? They retconned the ending of Arrow season one with the death of Malcolm Merlin. Spoilers for a
You know, the Dark
almost 10
Archer.
years. Either it was this season or the season before in that retcon that he was alive still and pulling the strings with Thea.
Although this will hardly be the worst set of retcons we'll be getting.
Yeah.
So, DJ, you're going to be the deciding vote. Do we put it in A or do we put it in B?
Um. Ooh. Okay. We'll do it like this. Carl, you believe it should be an A. Jacob believes it should be in B. Tell me one great thing about tell me the best part about the season.
I think it was Felicity Smoke and Oliver's relationship. That was the best part of season three, in my
Okay.
opinion.
And Carl?
I would say the first we got our first Arrowverse official crossover in this season with Arrow and Flash.
Oh, that was a good episode. Isn't that the one where he shoots in the leg? He's like
Oh no, it didn't shoot him in the leg, it shoots him in the back.
he thinks he's so cool, he just shoots in the back. He's like, don't get too
And
cocky.
and one of many times where where Barry runs and catches Diggle and runs them somewhere and Diggle pukes. Because that
Well,
scene's
wouldn't
always
you?
funny.
I mean, that's disgusting.
I know, but it's always funny. Every time Barry shows up with Diggle, he always
Also after this season, season four opens up with like him trying to escape the life of a of Arrow, but he goes back to it. So this kind of felt like he was trying to end it. He's trying to end the his stint as Arrow, but you know what I mean?
yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it like this then. I say we give it a low A.
I
So
agree.
okay, below Arrow season one.
More
Yes.
things are going to be added to the tiers, so this will be balanced out.
Okay.
I mean, we still have three.
So now we have Arrow season four, which I say is the worst of the Arrow seasons.
Where would you
Yeah,
put it
they
then? I haven't watched all of it. Where would you put it?
I put it in C. It's not a bad season. It's just one concept. Two.
Is this
There's
the
this
Damien
season.
Dark one?
This is the magic arc. Arc and
Ooh.
Batman and magic don't work. So why did you think Green Arrow and magic would work?
It's like trying to set Flash up against the Music Meister in a battle. If you know the
Eh.
reference, you're a legend.
But yeah. The other part that they they we'll get to it later in season two of the Flash, but they killed off a main character.
Which character?
They killed Laurel.
Boo hoo.
Didn't Black Canary die in season three?
No, season four, Damien Dark killed her. That's why in season whatever season it's
I think that's the
in
season you're thinking of, Jacob.
No, I'm thinking of her sister. Well, his sister gets killed in season three.
oh right, sorry. Sarah gets killed by Damien Dark no, by by Malcolm Merlin by the hand of Thea Queen under mind control in the beginning of the first episode of season 3. This
Yeah.
one they kill, and in honor of her sister, Laurel takes up the mantle of Black Canary, and Damien Dark killed her during a prison riot. That's why when Sarah, who's pulled out of time thanks to Rip Hunter, sees Damien Dark, she really wants to kill him.
But
Hmm.
time travel nonsense, you get the gist by now.
Yeah.
So, considering the fact that I have not seen this season, Jacob hasn't seen all of it, and we consider Karl the utmost expert, we'll put it in C.
I would say the only other redeeming quality is I think we got the second crossover, which I think was the Invasion crossover.
I
No,
believe
no,
that's
no, no, it's not Invasion.
was
Invasion's
that
not till
Crisis on
season.
Earth X?
No, it's the sec. They do for this one. They do two Arrow crossovers. They do two Arrow and Flash crossovers because they didn't have any big show. They didn't have the Legends and they didn't have Supergirl yet. But we'll get to that. Well, they
Alrighty.
did, but they didn't. We'll get to the history of that show later.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I say about a C.
Okay.
Not bad, but not. It's not. It's okay. Now Arrow season 5.
Jacob, have you seen the rest of these seasons?
I have not.
Okay, then, Karl, do you want to rapid fire through these? Through these
Yep.
last 4?
I say this one is above Arrow season 4. Not 4. Obviously, yeah, above 4. Above. I say it's on tier with season 2 for the arc that they did.
It's pretty high up then.
Because the way they did this is at the end of season 4 of Arrow, if I'm remembering correctly, Oliver Queen became mayor of Star City. So in this season he had to balance between being the mayor of Star City and being the Green Arrow versus a very highly calculating villain named Prometheus.
Not, not another Batman villain.
He's a minor villain at that, so I think
Oh,
they're fine with taking him. He's a minor of a minor villain.
still, no onomatopoeia.
Nah, I
I
think
didn't
you
think
get,
it'd be fun.
but with the and he was highly calculating. He tore Arrow down to his bare bones. And he
Figuratively or literally?
kind of both. At the end of the season, he took all of his friends and family that were still alive because in season 2, they killed his mother, Oliver's mother, thanks to the hand of Slade.
Yeah,
Not,
I remember that was kind of brutal.
not D-stroke.
But he all of his surviving family members, the all of Team Arrow, which I think at the time was John, Felicity, Mr. Terrific, Ragdoll. I feel like I'm missing one. I don't know if Laurel had joined back by then, or she might. Yeah, I think Laurel joined back by then. Quentin and did I say Wild Dog yet?
No.
Okay, and Wild Dog. And Prometheus had either hired or convinced all surviving Arrow villains to team up to take down Arrow on guess where?
The
Um, um,
island.
Lian Yu.
I knew it. The island of Lee and you.
Oh wait, and the other person he grabbed was I think during because I think during this season this was the Crisis on Earth X time crossover, and Barry had learned that Oliver had a son. So the mother of his child was also on Lian Yu. And
ah,
Prometheus had set the
Actually, We were
Yes.
talking about Lee and Yu. One thing I found very interesting, I think we talked about season two being an S tier. The reason why is because the dynamic. One of the reasons why is because the how Slade was dangerous. He was,
Hmm.
he was more dangerous than villains previously because he put on a facade of being the nicest guy ever, but
Oh,
also was secretly planning to murder all of them and was a brutal killer that he knew from the island.
oh yeah, that was the same thing because Prometheus was the DA, Adrian Chase. So he was the nicest guy to Oliver when he was out of costume, but when he was in his Prometheus costume, he was an absolute dick to Oliver.
Yeah, I think that's what makes Arrow villains work, is that they put on this high class facade, but they're actually monsters on the outside of that. I think
Uh,
that's what makes a season really good, is when you're able to balance that.
Makes sense.
and
Makes sense.
so that's why I say this is an S tier shit. S tier.
Okay. How's
Not
Yeah,
better
season
than
two?
not better than season two, but pretty damn close. Season four was about here.
Isn't that season
Ouch.
six?
Sorry, yep, sorry. Season six, my memory is going bad. Too old. It's playing off the events of season five. It's just they tried to do the Oliver accidentally had killed someone. It's the some of what they did in Failsafe. Remember the Failsafe arc, Jacob?
Yeah.
But
I think DJ was there too. It was the one where
yeah.
he
instead of it being a robot that takes over, try it's uh some bad guy, I don't remember his name now, was convinced by one of his partners to that Oliver, aka the Green Arrow, had killed his son with a bunch of arrows. So he the Oliver's friend from Russia, who's in the Bratva, I think that's how you say that. And I remember the other guy's name. He comes up later. Hopefully, I'll remember his name by then. He's just an entire duelist. He has to parent this child that is now motherless. Has to give up Green Arrow, give it to Diggle. Diggle takes drugs to continue to be Green Arrow. Oliver takes it back. Not Oliver and Dick. Oliver and John get into a big fight. It's just a mess. And it
does
ends
it
with
make it interesting to watch?
I think so. Probably the way I'm describing it is not that interesting, but I'm trying to remember it. It has been a minute since I've watched all the shows. So I'm going off of plot points I'm grabbing out of thin air in my brain.
Hmm.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna look.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna remember that stupid guy's name. Give me a minute. Uh, I need to know the name of this villain of season seven because he comes up later. Season seven, Arrow.
See, it should have been onomatopoeia because then you would have remembered his name.
No, that wouldn't have. That would not have helped. Ricardo Diaz.
Doesn't he show up in the prison arc of season seven?
That's the main part. So at the end of season six, in order to have because the entire season, it's Oliver balancing, like I said, trying to be a father, trying to be Green Arrow, giving up Green Arrow, plus having to be investigated by the FBI, thinking that he's the Green Arrow.
No.
Which, so in order to catch Diaz, because Diaz escapes at the end of the season and threatens Oliver's family. Oliver decides after turning he he someone's in the hospital. I don't remember who's in the hospital from the top of my head. But someone's in the hospital and all of a sudden the FBI shows up to take and everyone thinks they're going back to jail because they said they had immunity, but they find out the immunity is because Oliver turned himself in, so he's going to prison now.
Makes
Hmm.
sense.
And the FBI is going to find Ricardo Diaz and protect Oliver's family, which go into witness protection.
Okay.
Season seven, I'm going to go to season seven, is Oliver in prison. Felicity doing her witness protection job and still looking for Ricardo after they find Ricardo. Oh no, Ricardo dies because they let Oliver out to go find him. I guess for time served, I guess. And he becomes a full he he does the kind of Batman thing where he becomes a law enforcement officer with the Star City Police Department,
Mhm.
but they're at least allowed to wear their costumes at least. Because I think the first
Priorities.
episode where they started this program was they had to wear police uniforms. They all felt stupid, so they finally convinced them to wear their superhero outfits.
Well, if I had a perfectly good superhero outfit, I probably want to wear it too.
I'd say it's about a B. It's not a bad season, but it's okay season. It also has the problem. This also started because every season in Arrow jumped back and forth between the present day and the past.
Yeah, they've always been doing that even in since like season 3, they've been doing that.
This one they did it differently. They jumped from the present to the future instead. They jumped 25 years into the future where William, Oliver's son, meets up with a badass woman who's in a boxing match who happens to know how to use arrows. I
Oh,
wonder who she is.
oh,
Gonna find later. Her name is Mia Smoke,
Oh,
oh.
which leads us into the eighth. Yeah,
the
eighth.
final
That's it.
season.
Eighth and final season, which was the entire prelude to the Crisis on Infinite Earths event, where he had to do a bunch of tasks for the Monitor in order to, because he made a deal with the Monitor during the Elseworlds crossover the season before in order to save Kara and Barry's life. So he knows he's the one who's going to have to die in Crisis.
We'll get back to Crisis when we get
Yeah,
to the Flash, but yeah, it's a big.
Sounds about right.
it's not bad. I give it about a B. It's not a bad season. It's a nice kickoff. You clean up some of all the loose ends. It's a nice send off to Oliver. Now we're on to Batwoman.
Oh
All
dear.
3 seasons.
We
You want
went
to
from a
talk
show
about these,
that
or do you just want to put them all up there? I
Uh,
mean,
I'm
I'll
what
same tier.
what hasn't been said about this series?
I'll say that one goes there, and then
They're both bad. Which one's
What
worse
makes you
though?
put
Season 2 or 3?
season 2, the plot made no sense. Season 3 plot made no sense.
season one in at least C tier?
It's not bad. Yeah, actually, one, you know who the hell Batwoman is? It's Ruby. It's actually Kate Kane, not some mysterious woman they made up half minute out of half cocked idea.
Fair enough.
She actually has some ties to the entire Gotham system,
Also
and
fair.
outside, and she actually gets a few. She has a few mentions in other shows. I think the other Batwoman got what, 2, maybe 3 mentions in one other appearance, which
So
was in the
basically what you're
Flash.
saying is she actually did stuff.
Oh yeah, she's the one who introduced Gotham in the Elseworlds crossover.
Fair enough.
And in the when we get to it, which is not here, the um Armageddon crossover, she just pops out of nowhere like they've all known each other for a long time, even though she only started to exist a few years ago.
Sounds about right.
Now we're on to season 1 of Black Lightning.
I have seen this.
Okay, where do you say Black Lightning goes?
Personally,
Yes.
I would put it. Hmm. Make me think about it for a second, because because I have to think of this in a vacuum because I haven't seen the later seasons. So putting this in its own little bubble, I'd have to say Black Lightning is either high B or low A.
Okay.
What is your personal thoughts, Carl?
So, so I say, wait, where do you say you put Black Lightning? I kind of forgot.
He put it. He said low A or high B.
Yeah. Between those two.
Okay, is it a better than Arrow season 3
Well,
or
I'm asking where would you put it?
I say it's better than Arrow season 3.
Then you know what? Let's go with that.
Okay. I agree. I like the first season. It felt different than the rest. It kind
Yeah,
of
like
turned more into a CW-ish superhero show afterwards.
yeah, but like this first season was actually really good in my opinion.
Season
So
2, oh, I'm trying to remember the plot of season 2. It has been a minute. Okay, Mr. Phone, tell me about Black Lightning season 2. So
yeah,
if someone
because
remember this, what
I can't say I've seen it.
Black Lightning season 2. From my knowledge, I forgot that it got 2 seasons. I'm not forgot it got two. I forgot it got more than. I didn't know. I forgot it got 4 seasons. There we go. There's the sentence right. Okay. Um, oh, it's damn it. More Tobias shit. I forgot. He was the villain of all 4 seasons. That's
He was
right.
a villain forever.
He's like he's the Thawne of Black Lightning. He didn't go away. Even when he didn't go away for very long. I'll give it C. They're not bad. They're better than Batwoman.
They're
Season
just
one.
all right.
They're not bad. Season 3 was what was the plot of season 3 real quick? Give me a quick one. Oh, he works for a criminal organization trying to stop a country called Markovia.
I don't remember that in the slightest.
It was revealed later that the suit maker Gamby.
Yeah.
He was initially sent out to kill or capture, not kill, capture Jefferson to take to the ASA.
Okay.
But after Tobias had killed Jefferson's father, he Gamby had a change of heart and decided to take care of Jefferson and defect. He leave the ASA, and
Okay.
now they kind of got pulled into, and they kind of got pulled back into. Um, and this season also somewhat tied into the Arrowverse's Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's how he reappeared. Otherwise, you watch the first 3 seasons, you have no clue they're connected to the Arrowverse.
Fair
And
enough.
then season 4, no, there we go. Now we have the Legends of Tomorrow.
This might be an
I've never
unpopular.
watched these, so you guys are gonna talk about them.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually really, really liked the first season of Legends.
That is a very unpopular opinion because a lot of people find because Legends started off as a very serious show, and season 2 onward became more of a jokey pop culture referencing show. Like they did do like cutaway gags, like Stupid Family Guy, but they made a lot of pop culture references. They came a lot more jokey, which is
Yeah.
fine. It's a misfit bunch of characters, pretty much characters that were on main stays on Arrow and Flash that they
That
kind
wasn't
of just
doing
want
anything.
they weren't doing anything. They said, okay, we'll give you your own show somewhat. We'll stick you with Rip Hunter and Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Like it's time to play Sarah, go over there. Jackson's Jackson Jefferson, that was the name. And Martin Stein go over there. Ray Palmer go over there. Captain Cold and Heatwave go over there.
Yeah. Like I said, I know a lot of people didn't, adore this season, but I actually kind of dug it. What did you think of it, Carl?
It wasn't that bad at all. It gives our first introduction, I think, don't hold me to it, to Vandal Savage,
I
I think.
want to say yeah. I want to say this was
That
his first introduction.
that or he appeared in the second Arrow versus Flash crossover.
Then, how do you feel about putting this one in good, B tier?
I have no problem with that. I liked the first season. Only
Okay,
thing I
let's
didn't
go
like
with
about
that.
the season was they killed off Leonard Smart.
Yeah, that was kind of one of my qualms with it. I feel like they killed off Captain Cold way too early.
Then they switched him for a gay version. And then they got rid of him too. So
The
is this
CW just
better?
does not like Captain Cold.
No, they don't. Do we say this is better than season eight? No, yep, season eight of Arrow,
Hmm.
or or is it lower than that?
Once again, I'm gonna leave it to your call.
I'll say it's about a year. It's
Okay,
not bad.
uh,
No,
I
Legends
am
had a lot
perfectly
of
fine with that.
seasons.
What?
Legends had a lot of seasons.
Yeah, it had about six, I think. Yeah, six seasons. That had six
Decent
seasons.
considering the fact
Super.
that it wasn't
Uh,
supposed to last that long.
no. That had six seasons. Supergirl had six seasons. Only one that had longer season was The Flash. It has nine seasons.
Oh boy. Can't wait until we get to the Flash.
Actually, hate to say it, just for now, I'm throwing this one in here.
Yeah, because
Fair
it
enough.
Season
hasn't
nine,
happened yet.
season nine hasn't finished yet.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
like it'd be
judge a
unfair
season off for
to.
the first two episodes. Like that is not fair.
Right. So if I've technically seen see are we gonna count? Okay, we'll get to that when we get to the Flash. Let's
Okay, so Legend season two. There were the reuse of Arrow and Flash villains. Did you not
Hmm.
see? Did you see season two, DJ?
Yeah, I saw it.
Then you
After
get
that, kind
why
of
I
dropped
called it
off,
that. Then you know why I called it that.
and I kind of dropped off afterwards because I just didn't. It just didn't hit with me. Hmm. But this is also kind of like where that change went from to a bit more, like you said, jokey kind of. Uh, what do you think, Carl?
It's all. It's not a bad season. They they fought not. They're not rejects. So they again reappeared more often in their own respective hero shows, but they recycled Damien Dark, Malcolm Merlin, and Eobard Thawne, but not Harrison Wells Eobard Thawne. It's the other Eobard Thawne.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot. They had two Arrow and two Flash. Technically, you know how it ended?
This was a
uh,
few years ago that I watched it. You're gonna need to refresh my memory.
Eobard Thawne is killed by the Black Flash, so technically Hunter Zolomon.
Oh,
Zoom,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
zoom. So they had two Flash and two Arrow villains.
Do we want okay? Do we want to put this one at okay, or do we want to put it in not great? Because that's what I'm feeling right now. Unless you believe it should be higher.
I'm fine with okay. I'm fine with that. It's not bad. The weapon was completely stupid what they were going after this time. They were going after the Spear of Destiny. You know what the Spear of Destiny is?
It's
what
a
is it?
it's a it's a cube.
No, it's the spear that pierced Jesus Christ's side and became object that can alter reality.
Sounds
That
about
is
right.
purely stupid.
No, that sounds about right.
I say it's about a year for me. Do you agree with that, DJ?
I am perfectly fine with that.
Now we're on to Legends Season 3.
Like I said, this is where I about dropped off.
Season 3 is, let's see if I remember the plot of Season 3 again. They were Rip Hunter, who I think by this season had died. Or that, or he disappeared and came back at the end of one season. He does come back at least one more time, but created a time agency to fix inaccuracies, aka time problems. Because at the end of, I guess, season 2, the legends broke time.
Oopsie.
So they had to, one, the legends got fired by Rip Hunter and his time agency, and decided that they did not want to be fired and stole the Wave Rider and decided to do their own version of it. And with Rip's permission, decided to fight all the inaccuracies to stop a demon being released. And I think at this time, Kid Flash had joined the season. I think because Kid Flash had joined at one season. Don't remember which one. Let me look that up. Legends of Tomorrow.
I want to say he was like in the first episode, the pilot of the first season. Or am I wrong
Kid
by saying that?
Kid Flash?
Yeah,
He might have been stopping Heat Wave and Captain Cold, but because Rip Hunter's thing was at the end of the mission they'd put them back in their timeline.
yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow. Wikipedia.
I feel like, hmm, hmm. Ah,
Oh yeah, so yeah, they have to stop a demon entity called Malice to form a cult led by Damien Dark's daughter Nora, pursuing 6 totems, 2 of which are held by um Vixen and near future hacktivist Zara Tomura. The legend are assisted by speedster Wally West, receive all totems, and use it to defeat Malice in a fluffy toy creature called Bilbo.
huh.
This show sounds
Also,
really goofy.
Oh, it became completely goofy near the. This is the start of the goofiness, but
also,
it was
DC
entertaining.
really loves the name Nora.
Yes, it does.
It's like how they like
And
their Johns.
I think they use Damien Dark to stop Nora from becoming evil. I think.
Hmm.
Uh, I say this is about a year. Right about a year. I like this season. It's not a
Okay.
bad season.
It definitely sounds like a lot more happened in this season.
And in
Just
season
from the way you
4,
described it.
one, one they lose Jax. Jax leaves because I think at the time of this crossover, which I think it was Earth X, they killed Martin Stein.
Mm.
So Firestorm's kind of broken. So he left. Jax left. So, oh, this season, when they kicked out John, I mean, like that kicked out John. When they kicked out Wally, or Wally left, and Jax left, guess who they added to the show?
Oh,
You take
Jacob,
a
can you go up
guess.
against?
You take a guess.
Okay,
Uh,
Jacob, who do you think they added?
Eobard Thawne.
No. Not bad
they
guess, but
added,
no.
they added Booster Gold.
No. They
Brian
added
Uh,
Stark.
No, they added John Jones. Not John Jones. He's still stuck on Supergirl. He added John Constantine.
And then
John Con.
did that make the show better?
His pompous, rude attitude was entertaining. I will give him that. He was entertaining. Which they
So
also
John
add,
being John.
they added a shapeshifter named Charlie, a weird girl named Mona,
That's
and
real
a
close to Nora.
Bro.
Ava, who was working for
That
Rip
sounds a lot like
Hunters.
Nora.
Shut up, you idiot. Ava, who was working for Rip Hunter's time agency, after his sacrifice, decided to stay with the legend and start a lesbian relationship with Sarah Lance.
Yay.
And Ray Palmer and Damien Dark's daughter, Nora Dark, started a relationship. Oh, and
Ah,
Nora became a fairy godmother.
for realsies?
Yes.
Does
Which
she grant
Nora
what
is
is she?
this? I'm confused.
Nora Dark.
Okay.
Oh, and Necron. They have to fight a demon named Necron, who was
Wait, they
banished
brought
by,
Necron into this?
yeah, or Neuron, I think that's his name. Neuron.
Never mind.
Neurons.
Neuron, okay. Who was banished by John during a show at Hell's Way Internet intended to help humans to be less afraid of magical creatures. In addition, Neuron manipulated the Time Bureau member Gary Green into working for him following Neuron's defeat. Zari's timeline changes and she is replaced by a legend and wielder of the time air totem, her brother Bayard. Yeah, the season was fun.
Then where
It's
would you
about
rate it, Karl?
about a year. I actually know what about a year.
Legends take up 3 spots in the good tier.
They're not bad. They're
Yeah, yeah. Well,
they're
that's why they're good. I just wanted to point that out.
they're like the Transformers movies. They're good thing to watch for entertaining, but if you try to think about the timeline and how this works, your brain will be fried by the end of end of this show.
Sounds about right.
Mhm.
Season 5, which is next on our list, is Astrid, who John accidentally sent to hell in a botched exorcism, has
What the hell?
resurrected evil individuals from history as anchors. Meanwhile, Charlie is revealed to be a clothed of three fairies who are pursued by her sisters to recover the Loom of Fate. Mona, Ray, and Nora and Charlie leave the Legends, who defeat the Fates and encourages. Esther is convinced to join the Legends, while John offers to be a roommate at his house and a mentor to her. In the final season, Sarah is captured by a mysterious beam.
Mm.
And the interesting thing about this one is the reason Nora and Ray left is one, Nora and Ray in real life, their actors are actually married. So that's why they put those two together.
Oh,
And I think they were done. I think
small art
Ray
imitates life.
I think Brandon Routh's like, I think I'm done with this show. And this was the crisis, so he got to return as Superman.
Very cool.
Very epic,
Season
in my opinion.
season 6. Sarah is captured by Gary. Oh, I didn't move season 6. Here it is. Season 6. It's about a here. It's not bad, it's just I like season 1 of Legends more. Like I said,
How many
all
seasons are
these
there?
there are two more seasons before I
Then
get
we'll
to
move on to
Supergirl
Supergirl,
and
then the Flash, and then
Superman Lois.
yeah.
Next we have season 7. This one, an alien named Bishop kidnaps Sarah because he thinks she's the best fighter of all of mankind. Obminster with superpowers the entire season because this season six, yeah, six.
Yes.
Supergirl season 6, Flash season 7, I think, whatever that is. I think this is this one right here. All had COVID episodes, so they had a COVID protocol, so they had to separate the main cast. So for Supergirl, for example, they had to separate Kara from the main cast. They separated Sarah from the main cast. But eventually they find Sarah after Gary reveals that his fiance Kayla, who reveal were both aliens, and found out that Bishop created the Avas, so that also creates problems for Ava, the one on the Legends, I should say. That's confusing. They also meet a futuristic alien recluse named Esperanza Spooner Cruz. And from to find out she's from the 1800s and accidentally got teleported to the future by a mushroom.
A mushroom.
And in order to bring back the mushroom plant thing that was protecting the Earth from this monster thing that Bishop had sent, they had to John Constantine sacrificed himself because oddly the actor who wanted to play and didn't want to play Constantine anymore. But here's the fun thing. The actor didn't leave the show. He just played a different guy. So he just killed John and becomes somebody else. Oh, and at the
Oh,
end of the season, as the Legends are leaving to go back to their original time, a duplicate Wave Rider destroys their Wave Rider, stranding them in 1925 in Texas, which is not a fun place to be.
I'm confused.
Don't feel bad. Time travel shows make no sense half the time.
God
Like,
forbid
okay,
that.
the thing was, I could follow Arrow through your explanations of it. It made sense. This one doesn't.
Well, to be fair, I am jumping around the Wikipedia article to see what's important and what's not really that important.
Yeah, just catching the bullet points.
Yeah,
Well,
these are
even the
like
bullet points
non-form.
don't make sense.
This made somewhat no sense. That's about it here for me. Head the hell. It's about a here for me.
In the
Not
final
bad.
season, right? The final season of
Fine.
Legends.
Final season. In season 7, the Legends work to find a way back to their own time after what happened to the Wave Rider. While Astra unknowingly gives Gideon a human form, the Legends make their way to New York City to send out an investor named Davis, who is said to have invented a form of time travel. Meanwhile, a younger Bishop is revealed to have a copy of Gideon's AI before being mind wiped to regain some of the memories following a recurring dream, having become a time master. Bishop starts to see the Legends not as bad guys, as he thought, but as going against his Gideon copy. After Bishop's sacrifice, the Legends go up against their robot clone that Gideon created, going through a combination of Gideon technology and Bishop cloning technology. While the robot's clones are defeated, the Legends work to save Godwin's boyfriend Albert Thomas from being a casualty during World War I, while also dealing with a fixer named Mike, who's later to reveal makes off with the Wave Rider. Alan is saved at the cost of Nate's powers. He officially moves into Zara's tome to be with his original Zari, which had been completed for much of this season. The Wayfinder returns when they find Mike on the bridge in handcuffs. Legends are then arrested by the time police that Mike works for, as he is revealed to be Lamer Bronze.
No way. It's Booster Gold, the best
Now,
character in DC history.
No, it's Lamer Bronze. This is not a bad season by any means. It's just like it's about a year for me.
Well, it looks like all but uh all but two of the seasons are good.
They're good popcorn, but that season two was the start of the jokiness, so it felt a little clunky. And this one, the time travel after all just made my brain hurt.
Would you say to anyone out there who's watching this video, is it worth it?
To watch Legends? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, turn off your. If you just want a show to turn off your brain, go ahead. Just hate to say it, skip the crossover episodes if you don't want to get. You just want to watch the show, skip the crossover episodes.
because I think that's the goal of this video is to show like the quality of the shows.
Yeah.
Like, are they worth your time? Like, do you think Arrow's worth people's time? Actually,
Oh
wait,
yeah.
we'll discuss that at the end.
Yeah.
Like, which
Do you
shows are
agree?
worth your time, which ones aren't.
Do you agree with my rankings of the Legends?
I think you can always pick on one of them. So
True.
Very nice. Close enough to at least.
Okay. Next we have is Supergirl season one.
Oh boy, just
Supergirl season one is a CBS show.
3 more shows to go.
It was
Yes,
actually a CBS series, so it's going to be different. It's going to be probably it's going to feel different to watch, right?
And
it was it was different.
Did you like it?
Not bad by any means. For a show that didn't start on the CW network that kind of easily merged into the CW network, worked just fine. Even
I
the episode 18, World's Finest, when Barry showed up, Barry fit perfectly in. He didn't feel that strange out of it.
yeah, I watched this season and I could say that I actually liked it. Like first season, I don't think it was half bad at all.
The only thing that annoyed me was Kat Grant couldn't get her damn assistant's name right. That annoyed the crap out of me.
Bro, I don't even remember.
He always called her Kira, not Kara. That always annoyed the crap.
Oh yeah, I remember now. I remember now. What was up
Like,
with that?
I don't know. It's I come on, move. Would you agree about it here, DJ?
Yeah, I think that's a fair placement. It's a pretty good season.
Now we're on to
No major complaints.
season two. See,
Okay.
what was the plot? Oh, I remember the plot of season two now. Season two's was the oh yeah, sorry. Season one was I didn't mention that. Kara had Kara arrived on Earth like Clark did, except for she's he became older because she got this time instead of being her she got stuck in the Phantom Zone and eventually got dislodged from the Phantom Zone, but pulled the Phantom Zone prison with it. And when she returned to Earth, a bunch of prisoners from the prison were released. And it was would you say, DJ, it was just a monster of the week for a little while?
Just just a bit.
To reveal it was one at first Kara's aunt Astrid, but unfortunately Alex Danvers, Kara's step adopted sister, killed her, and then not her husband used was the main bad guy and used a mind control program to take over the earth. Only people who weren't affected were um Maxwell Lord, Kara, Cat Grant, because Maxwell Lord sent her a pair of earrings that would counter it, and I think that was it. Maybe John. I'm not too sure about John. I don't think he was revealed as John Jones yet. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that came later, I'm pretty sure.
But
That might
it was only oh, and Kara's adopted mother. But I think she was just outside of town. The one that surprised the heck out of everyone was Superman, who at the time of that season didn't have an actor yet. So he was just a random guy who they just lowered down on strings. because they just needed a guy who was under the mind control, which surprised a lot of people, which is not surprising. He was a baby when he came to Earth, so he only knows Earth culture. Kara knows Kryptonian, so she wouldn't be affected by it.
That's fair.
Season 2 starts off with they find a man in a Kryptonian-like pod, so they think it's another remnant of Krypton. And to find out it is not a remnant of Krypton, it's a remnant of Daxam, the sister planet of Krypton, who had a bitter rivalry with Kryptonians. Kryptonians had how do I explain this? Do you know this plot, DJ?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Like I can't remember too much of what happens this season.
See, if I'm remembering right, it's more like think of like the United States versus um the kingdom of back in let's say the 1700s during the United Kingdom. Pretty much it's monarchies and uh a power versus a democracy, pretty much. That's how the Kryptonians and the Daxamites, and that's why they hated each other. Because the Daxamites were like, as a Kryptonians, so the lazy slobs, and the Daxamites saw Kryptonians as high and mighty and privileged. But and Karl falls in love with the prince of Daxam, Mon-El.
Mon-El. I remember
Oh,
Mon-El.
is now I know the context for why he doesn't like to say that she's like his uh that she's his girlfriend, stuff like that.
No,
Or why they
no,
have a troubled relationship is probably why.
well, it's because no, it's not. It's revealed. That's why somewhat. Also because he lied to her about being the prince of Daxam. She just thought he was a random Daxamite who somehow got off the planet. When it was revealed by his mother and father that he was the prince of Daxam, in her head, because she somewhat knew about the Daxamites, were the laziest and meanest of all of the people, of the Daxamite people. So that's why they hated that's why they were not in a good place during the duet crossover episode.
Uh
Yeah. I mean, I knew
Eh,
that.
yeah, yeah, I'd say this is yeah, it gives it about a year. I like this season a lot.
Nothing fantastic, but good.
Yeah.
Okay. Few more seasons of Supergirl. Then we talk about Flash. And then Carl could talk about Superman and Lois.
Yep. Season 3 was they they finally because season 1 and season 2 really didn't they did it but didn't really do the Kryptonian versus Kryptonian fight. This time they actually did it. Season 3 was another person was sent from Krypton the day it exploded. This time a series of witches happened to have sent one to Earth. And a elderly woman happened to it, oh, a young woman at the time, found her, raised her as a daughter, and the witches somehow she got activated to become Rain. So, and it's also revealed at the bottom of the ocean they find not the legends, the Legion of Superheroes ship, which brings Saturn Girl, Brainiac 5, and Mon-El back to the present day. Mon-El is fine because at the end of the last season they had used a former Lex weapon which dispersed kryptonite everywhere, dispersed lead everywhere. Because Daxamite's weakness is lead. It's like their kryptonite. But when Kara sent Mon-El off, he actually went into a wormhole and got shot 30 years into the future where they had a cure to the lead poisoning. And somebody got stuck back in time. And they needed to defeat Rain to ensure to save the future. And there was a weird relationship tension between Kara and Monel because Monel is married to Saturn Girl. I think it's Saturn Girl. I actually don't know her name. I'm gonna keep calling her Saturn Girl. And it ends with Kara doing a flash trick of grabbing more than one to defeat Rain, and one gets sent to, I want to say, their version of Soviet Russia.
Hmm.
About a here. It's not bad, but not good. It's a good season. If you don't care about time, that last time part gets a little confusing.
Yeah.
Season 4. Yeah, season 4. I'm on the right season. Season 4, they started to do. I think this is when they got a little too big for their britches. Because season 4 decided to do 3 plots at once, which is not a good idea in the slightest.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I don't know what it is specifically with the CW shows, but they always seem to just sort of tank the longer they go.
One. So that was the plot of season 1, 2, 4. Season 4's plot was one. They tried to do more than one plot. Was they tried to do Agent Liberty plot, which was a guy who had gotten fired from his company, from some type of company. His father got laid off from his and had to close his steel factory because of a metal plant made out of alien metal. Because he only made
Ooh,
American steel. And he became Agent Liberty because because his father died because of some alien attack, and one of the steel bars fell on his father and killed him.
that's a big L.
At the same time, we get revealed that the Supergirl that Par had used to defeat Rain, like I said, ended up in it was like it's like you remember Red Sun, right?
Yeah,
It's like Red Sun. She landed in some Soviet country, was trained to be a weapon.
this was the Red Daughter, right?
Red Daughter arc, which was
Yeah.
part 2, who got trained by John Cryer Lex Luthor, who was also
Uh,
revealed to be the one who was manipulating Agent Liberty. And the final fight was between John Cryer's Lex Luthor and Lena, his sister, his stepsister, because his father had adopted her because she was the daughter of his affair. That's why
uh,
her mother never liked her. She liked Lex more.
I see.
And Kara thought that uh, Lex had died, but he did die. He thought he died when his Lexo suit had exploded, but he had teleported, and then Lena had killed him. But also revealed to her that Kara and Supergirl are one and the same. She did not know that at the time. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
This is about a here.
It's not good, or it's
Eh,
okay.
it's okay. It's too many plots weaving in between gives me one a headache, and two
Trying to
is
be
not
too
very good
busy for his
story.
bridges.
It was too busy for his britches. Because first you think, oh, it's going to be Legend Liberty's back. Oh no, it's going to be the Red Daughter and whatever representative they want to do for Soviet Russia. No, it's actually Lex Luthor.
You know what this
God.
reminds me of? It reminds me of season 4 of The Flash. You remember when they tried multiple plot lines and they just dropped them
Yeah,
because they didn't know what to do?
that was something.
We'll
Season
talk
fi-
about that when we get to season 4.
season 5 was Lena knowing that Kara is Supergirl, and Kara finally for feeling the need to finally tell her that she is Supergirl. Lena acts surprised and tries to make a machine to make everyone peaceful, pretty much. Make a not does not take away their free will, but like makes them passive. So no more aggression, no more anger,
Mm-hmm.
with the help of Lex. But I'll bring back to Lex in a second because I did say he died. Um, at the same time, Catco had been purchased by Lena previous seasons, but then had been sold off to a different company named who happened to be a friend of who? A friend of Lena's. And she 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 didn't like how Kara kept disappearing to do Supergirl things, but she didn't know she was Supergirl. So I think she got fired from Cat, or she left. No, I think she. By the time I think she finally stuck around long enough. I think. And at this either this season or the season beforehand, Win, remember Win from the World's Finest episode, her best friend, one who did the he was like he asked about the theory of the multiverse. That's true. He asked like everyone's evil during when Barry was explaining the multiverse.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so he had disappeared to go back to the future with Mon-El and all of them, and came back for an episode because a multiverse version of him had did something in the timeline, make branding him a bad guy, ruining his life pretty much. So he had to come back, fix that, and go back to Earth, back to his Earth. I mean, back to his time. Karl was also fighting an organization called Leviathan, but then that got disrupted thanks to guess what? Anyone gonna guess what messed up this plot?
Yeah, sure.
You're gonna guess what it is?
My guess is that
Okay, I'll give you two.
Claude.
I'll give you three options. Was it Crisis? Was
Okay.
it COVID? Or was it stupid writers don't know how to write their own stupid show?
Oh, it was definitely number three. Super writers don't know how to write their stupid show.
That is part of the answer, yes, but no, that's not the actual real answer.
Was it Crisis?
It was Crisis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I believe that's about this point in time.
Yep, this was Crisis. Crisis had messed this up. So with Crisis resetting, they brought back Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor's back alive.
Again.
So now John Carter's Lex Luthor's alive again. So helping Lena with her project now, because he made a deal with the Monitor during Crisis Tour when reality was reset. Oh, so only the heroes from Crisis remembered what actually was different between this reality and the previous one. Pretty much all the Paragons. And Lex, when he made a deal with the Monitor, made it to where Lena remembers everything about the previous reality. So she still knows Supergirl was Kara. She felt betrayed by Kara. Anyways, figuring out later, um, still fighting Leviathan, figuring out which was this alien organization that protected the Earth and deemed Supergirl and all her friends bad people to the planet. And this season, just like Flash season 7 got messed season 6, sorry, got messed up by COVID. So yes, it was COVID. All three answers were right. I happened to not realize all three answers
Yeah.
were right.
So was did the plot have to go into season 6 or season?
The ending had to go into season 6.
Yeah, and I think we'll talk about it when we get to season 7 of The Flash. How
But
it ended
anyways,
season 6's plot.
yeah. But anyways, it ends with in season 7, but I'll just say the ending for season 6 ends with them defeating Lex and the organization, and Kara being kicked out early in the season had got after the crisis got kicked out of the DEO because she was not willing to reveal her secret identity to the DEO, the organization she had worked for. So, because she didn't want to give her secret identity to Lex, even though I think Lex knew who her secret identity was. Anyway, she didn't want the government to have her secret identity. Was that so? She, John, Alex, Brainy, and Neonal, aka Dreamer, made their own headquarters called the Tower. The one is a stupid name for a clubhouse. It's a stupid name. Did you think the Tower is a stupid name?
Mm,
You watched this season?
no, but I hate stupid names.
I'm asking
What
you
what
again.
seasons have you watched of the show? Did you watch one through four?
I didn't watch this season. I know that for sure. Pretty much everything after Crisis, mine outside of the Flash, is a blur to me.
Anyway, it ended with Kara getting stuck in the Phantom Zone, pretty much.
Which I guess is kind of neat. Nice
Because
integration.
Lex accidentally, because they wanted to put Lex in the Phantom Zone, but with I don't know how, but somehow they were going to kill Lex, but in his offer, he accidentally Lex put her in the Phantom Zone. This is about a year for me. This is
Some kind of BS happens.
somehow she gets to the Phantom Zone. I don't remember exactly how she gets to the Phantom Zone, but somehow they're in the fortress. She gets shot by the Phantom Zone projector and gets stuck in there for a while.
All right.
Season 6, the final season, which is the end of their plot. At least they knew they were going to see. They knew they were getting an ending. So it starts off with the majority of the season for two reasons. With her doing the plot of her getting stuck in the Phantom Zone, but the reason why she got stuck in the Phantom Zone was in real life, Melissa Benoist, one, it was COVID protocols, and two, she was pregnant.
Yeah,
So they had to shoot as much of her scenes for the show as she could before they showed her belly bump because they can't explain why Kara's pregnant all of a sudden.
yeah.
So that's why for a majority she was off by herself with her dad who somehow got stuck in the Phantom Zone and Nixley, the girlfriend, fiance, friend, I don't remember exactly their relationship with Mr. Mixie Spedalek,
Aw, Mixie.
which also shows up. He shows up too.
He-
No, sorry.
I
No, sorry. He showed up in the previous season because wanted to know um what if she had told Lena her identity earlier than before, and a bunch of bad things would have happened. Like if she hadn't told her during the rain arc, she would have died because of the kryptonite poisoning and the hospitalization, and there were some other ones. Don't remember all of them.
yeah.
Anyways,
I know he did not a
he
bunch of
did
stuff, but
he
he
did
was there a
he
couple
did
times.
he did two episodes. One he was played by some guy. He was trying to compete with Mon-El for her love.
Yeah, I remember that part, which was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Anyway, and the
You
main
know,
villain is just Nixley trying to get a bunch of magical or artifacts to able to wish reality. Made a bunch of old Supergirl villains reappear. At the end of the season, it is revealed that one, Cat Grant Reese showed back up for one final time to reveal that she knew that Kira was Supergirl, and that Wynn and Jimmy, because Jimmy and Wynn had left a long time ago, that she is that the world now knows that Kara and Supergirl are now the same person.
wow.
And I think Alex and somebody else, I think Alex got married, I think, too. I remember who she got married to. It's about a year. They're not
So
bad, it's just okay.
to end off this episode, would you
No,
say
no, no.
so out of Um,
Let's finish Superman and Lois. Let's just do Superman and
okay.
Lois. No, no,
Both A.
sorry.
Oh,
what do you
both
what
S.
in a short explanation, why are these shows so good?
One, they don't deal with BSCW drama. They actually feel like real people. They don't feel like writers. They don't know who the hell how to write.
That actually does sound like a first. 'Cause even the
And
had that from time to time.
they know how to actually tell a story. They make minus a few episodes, but make every episode feel like it's important.
Hmm. So if you were to recommend any show in here to someone who is interested in CW or like DC shows, which one would you say is the best one? Like that
Superman
we've ranked
Lois,
so
easily.
far.
Superman Lois, easily.
Okay. Would you say that Batwoman is worth your time?
First season, yes. Season 2 and 3, hell no. You're better
So
off.
would you say that Arrow is worth people's time?
Yeah, I would say Arrow's worth its time.
Legends?
Yeah, Legend. If you really like comedy, is if
If
you like
that's like your
Legends.
thing, if you're a fan of Doctor Who, I think you'll like
Oh, yeah, that too. If you like Doctor Who and then you like s- I don't want to call it mean humor, but meme-ish like humor. They make a lot of jokes in this show.
like
What
that
about
almost British
Black
kind of
Lightning?
humor.
What?
What about Black Lightning? Would you say?
Black Lady is a very good. It's a very dark show because I think the first two scenes deal with dr drugs, like a drug that gives people superpowers, and if
Yeah,
you take too many, it'll kill you. They did with a drug plot at least one season, maybe two.
Actually, I have a fun thing. Rank the shows that we've done so far that we've watched from best to worst.
minus the Flash, because
We haven't done that
We'll
one yet. We spent a
we'll
whole
do
minute on
that in
that.
a yeah,
We have a lot to say about the Flash. We've all watched it.
yep. DJ,
So,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say the fact that we're not gonna rank the Flash right now because, well, two big reasons. A, the last season isn't done yet, so I feel like if we're gonna have a comprehensive list, we should at least give it a little bit more time.
Yeah.
but
That and the
also
fact that
we have a personal connection to it more.
yeah, we all have a pretty big personal connection to this show. It's also a pretty big one that I feel like is deserving of its own review. I mean, longtime Cabbagers will know that this was our original theme song.
Yeah, we changed it, but that our original version was just a lo-fi version of the song.
So
And
we
the
have
fact we
we have a
chose
lot to
this
say.
song,
So we're gonna do a proper review of that, and then we'll at the end of that review we'll edit this list and show you where we would put those last few seasons.
I'll give all the viewers one spoiler. I think that season one of The Flash is an S tier season.
Also agreed.
That's gonna be my only spoiler. I think it's an S tier season,
The first season is goated.
and I'll give the reasons why when we go into it. But
Yeah,
out of the shows I've watched on here, I would say that the beginning of Arrow is worth your time. It's really good. If
like
you
the
prefer
first
shows with
seasons.
a little bit of darker tone and some mystery, it's good. There's a reason why it got popular. But what do you think, Karl? What do you think Arrow?
Oh, Arrow, Arrow and Flash were some of the best DC TV shows we've had in a long time. I know Smallville was very popular back in the day. I didn't watch Smallville when I don't think I was one. I think I was
You weren't the
alive,
target
obviously.
demo.
I was inside the demographic, and two, I got into the Arrowverse thanks to Supergirl. I didn't get into it with Arrow and Flash.
That's
But when I went
interesting.
back, I think I happened to catch it on CB. I happened to see it on the TV guide one day, like Supergirl on CBS. What the hell? And then and then I saw the Flash, like, what the hell? And then I went to do some research. Oh, okay. I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Then I blame COVID for giving myself a stupid test to watch all these
Actually,
damn shows.
yeah, my first introduction was through Arrow on
Mine,
Netflix,
mine was through the Flash.
and I think that DJ has the biggest connection to the Flash out of all of us.
Oh yeah, definitely because the fact that the Flash is my favorite character, not my favorite superhero, but like my
Character in all
favorite
fiction.
character, yeah, ever. And the fact that I at one time considered this to be one of my favorite shows. Not so much nowadays, but that's for when we get into that discussion about it. So, Carl, Jacob, do you have anything else we want to mention or talk about regarding this list before we sort of wrap it up for tonight?
Yeah, I just mentioned that Slade is probably it's up there as like either one of the best or the best villains in the Arrowverse.
What about you, Carl?
I I agree. But I would say Prometheus is up there with Slade on his threat level.
Uh,
What
so
about,
long story short, the Arrow villains are some of the best.
but how can you forget such great villains as Cicada 2?
No,
Let's go.
We haven't done Flash yet. We'll get to Flash. We'll get to talking about Cicada.
and then when we get to Flash, we gotta talk about Duet.
Legitimately one of my favorite TV episodes out there. It's so good.
But
It's so much fun. Um, yeah. On behalf of my friends Carl and Jacob, this is your favorite Southern Californian son signing off.
see you guys later.
Bye
Uh,
bye. I had to bring
Also, don't forget to go get to DJ House and go get some cookies.